Um, oh, here. It is go to local interventions. Just go to I call to order the regular Board of Education meeting on January 25th, 2024 at 6:31 p.m. In the boardroom of Oak Park Middle Course High School, and ask for roll call, please.
Mr. Grossman.
Here.
Dr. Maharaj. Mr. Arkin.
Here.
Ms. Williams Lee. Here. Dr. Livingston.
Here.
Mr. Bramwell.
Here.
Mr. Kowski.
Here. I move to enter closed session for the purpose of discussing the employment compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel for the district and independent contractors and specific volunteers, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel for the district to determine its validity. However, a meeting to consider increasing compensation to a specific employee of a public body that is subject to the Local Government Wage Increase Transparency Act may not be closed, but shall be open to the public and closed and held in accordance with this act. And collective negotiating matters between the district and its employees or their representatives for deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. Second. And a roll call, please.
Mr. Arkin.
Yes.
Ms. Williams Lee. Yes. Mr. Brisbane.
Yes.
Mr. Bramwell.
Yes.
Dr. Livingston.
Yes.
Mr. Kowski.
Yes. session, and we will begin with our introductory reports. And first up is our student showcase.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. We have, I believe it's starting with athletics. Yes, all right. Nicole Epstein, you're up.
As you can see, we have a packed house tonight because we have a lot to acknowledge. I'm going to kind of go a little bit backwards in order here. So we have some recognitions
Can I
that,
actually pause just for a second? I think I hear an echo, and that's probably online more common than this. Can you see, can you get that addressed?
Say something, Nicole. Let me see.
There was an echo.
It was. I think, yeah.
if you guys want me to sing, then that won't go.
Sure, go ahead, I'll join you.
Okay, so we have some, actually 2023 recognitions that I need to do as well, because some of it took place over the summer. So I'm going to introduce coaches because we have two coaches here. We have three teams here tonight, and I'm going to introduce to you our coaches to introduce their players. So first and foremost, as many of you are aware, the softball team last summer at this point took third in state and brought us home this outstanding trophy, which resides in our new trophy case. With us tonight are members of our softball team, but I would like to first introduce to you the ICA, the Illinois Coaches Association Softball IHSA Section 1 Coach of the Year, Coach J.P. Coglin.
Great start. Thanks for having us tonight. I wanted to first recognize my players who are here, who are not here. We had 5 seniors last year, 5 of the most amazing, selfless teammates who set an incredible culture for our team. Monica Chesney, who's in Miami, Florida. Kelly Reagan, who's at LSU. Kelly Cortez at the University of Illinois. Ann Stein, who's all conference and is also at the University of Illinois. And Bella Morales, who is at Salem College in North Carolina. She was all conference and she was second team all state. Also not here tonight on our current team would be Maura Carmody, who was all conference, Aria Hammerschmidt, Macy Callahan, and Kennedy Ross. Here tonight, we have Tyler Brock. Tyler was second team all state and all conference. We have Rachel Buka. We have conference and third team all state. We have Lori Hana. We have Melissa Casapis, who was an active team all state and also all conference. Willie Manconi. Anna Topol. Julia Mariachi. Oscar Lutley's Andrew Dumel. A couple of quick words about this group. We were 1 strike away from playing for the state championship. 2 blue pits and a grounder off our pitcher's legs. Prevented us from playing for a state championship when we won the 3rd place game. But as our pitcher said, sometimes softball happens. Sometimes softball happens, and I think that was a perfect analogy. We're a program. Our lower level coaches are amazing. Every one of these young ladies, every kid on the roster last year played lower levels. I had the 2 most amazing assistant coaches, Liz Kiefer, who's here with us tonight in the back. And Steph Brenthal, who's not here tonight. But as I said with our seniors, our culture matters. Like, we were unranked. I don't think we were ranked at any point until like May. We were coming off a 10-17 season, and to go 31-8 and finish 3rd was pretty awesome. And I've coached pretty long, 2/3 of my life now. And I've won a lot, I've lost a lot. Sometimes a whole lot. But my main goal as a coach is to see the best versions of my athletes. And I thought over the course of the season, I saw the best versions of my athletes. And they brought the best version of myself, so, you know, nothing happens without these young ladies, and they deserve all the recognition and praise, and we're ready for it. So, thank you very much for having us tonight.
And he's too modest, but one more round of applause for Coach J.P. Coglin, our Illinois. All right. There's the seats. All right. Boys, come on in, take a seat. All right, amongst us, tonight we also have another coach who has some accolades here for not only himself, but his program. So at this time, I would like to introduce you to Coach Jason Freed, who is the Illinois High School Soccer Coaches Association Coach of the Year as well.
One, I just want to thank you guys for giving time to recognize our program and all these programs in athletics. You know, I do appreciate Will Epson giving me some accolades for that, but it would be wrong to just take that as definitely just not mine. Every coach in my program is just as much deserving of that. So John Cummings, who's here, who's my assistant at varsity, is in the back. Perez has been with me from day one. Could not be here tonight, but he's been here, and actually this year because it's so important our freshman group have a great experience coming in. He actually volunteered to go from varsity and take over the freshman A group for us, which I know probably wasn't easy, but has a blast, and he does that kind of stuff for our program all the time. Dave Bernthal and Jake Trudy, who are our JV1 level, and Mike Dolan, who is our head of our JV2 level and our goalkeeper coach, and Pam Whitehead, who just as much part of this is mine. So, you know, I give them the plaque as well. I think my 10-year-old daughter is taking the plaque somewhere, so it's gone. But it's just as much theirs as mine. So I appreciate you guys, you know, recognizing our program. A bunch of our boys did have soccer actually tonight, or I think actually a couple out of state for soccer. I would like to recognize all of them that are here and not here. Christian Kellogg, he is not here tonight because of soccer, but he is on it. Cam Smith, I know you're here. Cam, stand up, buddy. And actually broke the school record for goal against 0.39, which is pretty incredible. So Bryce Richards. Carlo Rizzuto. Ben Neighbor. Ned Eggert, who's at practice right now. Robert Sambu, who's also at practice, was trying to race here. I think they were trying to get here, but I don't think they made it. Noah Cummings. Cole Shepard, who could not be here. Nate Day. Ethan Bogard. Isaac Felder. Not here. Jesus Cervantes, who could not be here. Elliot Edwards is here. Charlie McGuire. Leo McGovern, who's not here tonight. Nolan Walters. Josh Kitterman, who I think is with Robert and coming from practice. Diego Zarata, who's actually an Olympic development program right now for soccer. And then last but not least, of course, is Izzy Irwin. I would like to say, so we did not win state. I knew we were capable of it, but I have to give the guys a credit. Probably one of the most remarkable. Oh, they just walked in. There you go. Christian Kellogg. Josh Kitterman walking out there. You know, these boys got together at the very beginning of the season. I think the most remarkable part was came with a group of standards, not necessarily soccer based, but human being based, what we wanted to be. And they stuck to the details of that every single day. And that is a grind and discipline. And I think that's kind of what made them so great. held each other accountable, held me accountable. That's kind of made a great season, and I gotta give it to everything. You know, we did not win state. We thought we were that team. Did not happen. That's soccer. They always say, you know, soccer is one of the most upsets ever. But they did go 20 wins, 0 losses, and 2 ties. It was a school record. Throughout the season with an incredibly hard schedule. We made it as hard as we could. They didn't lose a single game in 22 games, which was amazing. I gotta give up to you guys. They were the conference champs. They were 6-0, and our conference is no joke. Joe Nobi Invitational champs, Streamwood Fall Classic champs. Went to Iowa, which has a great teams from all over the country. Won the Great River Classic. We were that as well. Another team accolade. They had a .45 goal against average, so they gave up 11 goals in 1,960 minutes, which is we can't find any team that's done that. It was pretty incredible. So it's just not the keepers. You know, defense has a lot to do with it, but every single player played together to fight to have that. I already talked about Cam, you know, obviously he was a big part of that at a .39 goal against average. And I think, you know, something kind of goes up without saying, you know, this team, some of these guys have been with me for years. We didn't win it, but they also were nominated for the Reese Muro Sportsmanship Award for our section 2, which shows they're not just doing what's right on the field, but doing what's off, treating it correctly, treating their, you know, they're extremely competitive, big competitors, but in the end showed a lot of respect for the game and the human beings that they went against. That the fact that other programs, multiple programs nominated for that. And a great program won it, and then we're happy for them as well, but it shows doing the right thing, not just in the game. I'm really proud of all of them. It's a season we'll always remember. We plan to get better, so I plan to beat that record. So it'll be hard, but that's what we kind of do. But I do have one special thing we want to talk about. It's rare that this happens. It's really hard to win this. But one player we want to recognize is Easton Bogard. He was the Illinois High School Soccer Coaches Association Player of the Year. So every player in Illinois, he won Player of the Year. Had all American before, but then United Soccer also in December we came out that they also awarded him his All-American as well. So it's amazing. But I think he would tell you too that all that good stuff happens with all the people around you. So we appreciate everything. Thank you for taking the time to recognize us.
All right, thank you. And then our final team tonight is our boys cross country team. So we recognized the girls cross country team. I think it was back maybe in November after they made their state series appearance. The boys were actually having their banquet on that night. So I said that we would bring them back at a later date when everybody could be here. So they are here with us tonight. And I introduced to you Coach Chris Baldwin to introduce his state qualifiers.
Thank you. I want to thank my coaches as well. They couldn't make it tonight. Abel Riss, Stephen Trapphagen, Tim Hasso, and volunteer coach Vic Reno. I also would like to give a big thank you to all the parents in our program who made it out tonight and to support their kids, and not just their kids, but the other 82 kids all on the team. Our program is unique, whereas we are freshmen through seniors together the whole time. We have 82 kids out on our team. And while we had 15 kids on our state, 6th place in the state team, it was the 82 kids that made this team special and made it the 4th best team in OPRF history and the best back-to-back years in OPRF history. Last year we took 5th in the state, and this year we took 6th in the state. It was the beginning of the summer we talked as a program, and the kids committed to each other to try to replace the 3 of the top 5 from the previous year who had graduated, and they did an amazing job and had an amazing journey together, growing and becoming better and better friends. As a program, we had 3 first place finishes, 7 second place finishes, 4 third place finishes, won our 15th regional title, our 20th state qualifying team, and as I said earlier, our best back-to-back season ever. And we took 15th place at Nike Cross Country Regionals, which is a regional of 6 states where we were 15th amongst all those teams. We also excelled in the classroom. Our team won the IHSA Team Academic Achievement Award. They were the only team this fall to do that from OPRF, and we also had a team do that last year. Boys, could you stand up, our seniors? We'll start with our seniors. We had Michael Michelotti, Louis O'Connor. Juniors, you guys should stand up. Jack Gallery, Andrew Harmon, Ian O'Connor, Jack Williams, James Lackey. Sophomores, Benny King and Brady Creel. Freshman, Connor Harmon and Guy Silver couldn't be as well. Liam O'Connor, you stand up for a second. Liam O'Connor was All-State, only the 4th All-State junior we've had in OPRF history and part of our cross-country program. So special recognition. Thank you for your time and have an enjoyable evening.
Thank you guys all for your support, and we appreciate you guys allowing us to bring our athletes here to recognize them in front of you tonight. Thank you so much.
No. All right.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just wait till we clear. I'll be there.
Thank you, Karen.
Here's Bob. That's part of the meeting. Okay, it is now time for our student council liaison report.
Hey, hello and happy new year. I want to start off by congratulating Ms. Hawkins on the Employee of the Month. Ms. Hawkins is so incredibly deserving for everything she's done with student activities, and we appreciate it so much. We've heard last from the students that they would like to have a dance or large event second semester. So the student council has been thinking about starting planning, maybe doing something like a spring dance or a winter fest second semester of next school year. This semester, student council really wants to focus on service projects. We've become in contact with a bunch of other clubs to do projects with, and our service project coordinator, Lee Warsaki, is currently brainstorming different projects for us to do in the next few months. Regarding the burst pipes in the second and third floor math and science classrooms, students have been overwhelmingly understanding of the situation in group assignments.
That's true.
Yes, really good. And lastly, I want to bring up again having electronic payments in places like lunchrooms, vending machines, and at student events. Students who don't have cash or money in their Skyward account are not able to purchase lunch or snack throughout the day. Adding this payment feature will benefit school and student. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Johnson?
Right. A few short announcements here to share with everybody. Page. Okay, first, I'd like to give an update for the community on our recent calendar discussions. This is really for folks who don't have a direct affiliation with school, as we sent out a communication to all our stakeholders, our immediate families. As we shared with the board in December, the district's calendar committee proposed revising the 24-25 calendar so that the first semester would end in January rather than right before winter break. The goal is to even out the length of the semesters, as the second semester typically is significantly longer, causing significant challenges to how our students experience our curriculum from semester to semester. As discussions about the calendar have unfolded, though, it has become evident that we need and want more time to gather feedback and explore new options. As a result, it has simply become too late in the process to change next year's calendar. Therefore, the 24-25 school calendar will remain as already approved and is not on tonight's agenda. We will work to maximize instructional time during the first semester by making only internal adjustments, such as moving various assemblies to second semester. However, we are not backing away from the challenges that caused us to bring this proposal to the board to begin with. And it is still a very real possibility that we will bring a proposal forward for the 25-26 and 26-27 calendars that will in fact recommend that we shift the end of the semester to January as proposed. But we have some more work to do, as we said. And in the interim, at this point, we have no definitive timeline set for when we will bring that new proposal forward. I want to give another congratulations, a shout out to the Investigational Research Design and Innovation ERDI alums, Grace Cook and Mateo Neary, and current student Katie Staub, who was here a few months ago, for being invited to present their pioneering climate research at the 2024 Climate of Hope Conference. This is a first for ERDI students and honors the caliber of their research papers, posters, and presentations, each addressing a notable gap in environmental studies. They will share their insights with top climate change authorities and numerous science educators from across Illinois at the event on March 1st at Downers Grove North High School, featuring Nobel laureate Dr. Richard Alley as a guest speaker. Congratulations, just more superlatives for that outstanding program. And while we are on the topic of climate change, I should mention that last evening, on behalf of our district board president, Tom Kowski, and I were both honored to receive a Green Award from the Village of Oak Park's Environment and Energy Citizens Commission. Green Awards recognize leadership in advancing equity-centered climate action, climate resilience, and sustainability. And I will take the risk, if I can, of speaking for both of us by stating that what makes this honor particularly special is that we were nominated by senior Manolo Avalos, president of the school's environmental club. Manolo and other students worked closely with district leadership to develop the student sustainability policy and plan, which were approved in 2022. The policy requires achieving significant sustainability goals, including reducing the school's greenhouse gas emissions by 100% of 2010 levels by 2012 levels, I should say. Manolo noted in his nomination that our ambitious plan includes aggressive energy efficiency, waste reduction, conservation, and education goals that inspire students to talk the talk and walk the walk. And while we're in the name dropping mode, I also want to give an honorable mention here to Cindy Wong, the sponsor of the School Environmental Club, for her equally ambitious and purposeful leadership. And should also note that we have an agenda item coming up regarding geothermal that will provide the large bulk of the heating and cooling for Project 2 that is very much in sync with the goals outlined in this plan. So that concludes our superintendent announcements for tonight. Congratulations, Tom.
Congratulations.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Lisa,
One submitted, one resolved.
thank you. Okay, next on our agenda are our recognition segment. So today, we are pleased to continue our employee recognition program recognition for the 2023-24 school year. This program is sponsored by Oak Park Bank, the Wintrust Community Bank. So
first, we would like to congratulate Brendan Cullen, who was selected as Teacher of the Month. Here are some of the highlights from the nominations received for Brendan. He's on one.
oh, good.
Mr. Cullen has shown exceptional dedication by initiating the Husky House Band, a new extracurricular rock band at O'Hara, significantly improving students' high school experience by providing a sense of belonging. Recognized as an outstanding music educator, Mr. Culleton is appreciated for his positive attitude and continuous efforts to enhance the student experience by organizing such events as the Songwriting and Guitar Student Showcase. He is noted for his hard work, willingness to assist others, friendliness, kindness, approachability, making him a valued and respected member of the OPRF community. Congratulations, Brandon. Is there anything you would like to say?
Yes.
Oh my God, okay.
Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
So sorry I can't be there in person tonight. I'm actually in Peoria right now with 19 of our award-winning state representing students and the rest of the music department. So I wish I could be there in person, but thank you so much for honoring me. I just really appreciate it. This wouldn't be possible without the amazing team and the amazing colleagues I work with all over the entire building. And it's just been an absolute joy working with some of the amazing people that we have all over the building at OPRF. It's really been an incredible experience and probably it's just incredible. So thank you so much. I'm really honored.
Thank you.
And
now I would like to extend congratulations to our January Employee of the Month, Angie Hawkins. Here are some of the highlights from the nominations received for Angie. Ms. Hawkins demonstrates exceptional dedication to her work, being the first to arrive and the last to leave, actively participating in nearly every school event and spending weekends at the school to support our student activities. She infuses the Student Activity Center with energy and creativity by redesigning assemblies and promoting student success. Her efforts aim to make club participation an integral part of every student's high school experience. Known for her great sense of humor, approachability, and hardworking nature, Ms. Hawkins is a team player who prioritizes students' interests and makes thoughtful decisions. It is always ready to assist and brainstorm ideas. Congratulations, Angie. Is there anything you would like to say?
Yes, thank you for this recognition. There are so many deserving people in this building, so I appreciate the nomination and the recognition of my efforts. I have the opportunity to work with every division and every department, which means I have the chance to collaborate with so many others who help support my work. Without them, all the events and activities that support our students would not be a success, so I thank them. I also want to recognize that Mr. Cullerton, who was just on, not only is he in Peoria with several of our music students, he's also hanging out with one of our very sick students right now there. So I'm so glad that's why I was nervous that he wouldn't pop on, because I knew he's trying to deal with the situation. So congrats to Brendan and thank you all so much.
we'll go anywhere, not quite yet. And a gift certificate from us.
Okay, next, the board would like to extend congratulations to our volunteer of the month, Meg Chalmers. Is Meg here? Okay. All right, well, for the record, we will say, here are some of the highlights from the nominations received for Meg. Ms. Chalmers plays a multifaceted role in Applause, serving as secretary and significantly contributing to the theater activities. Her contributions include providing meals during Prism's technical rehearsals and assisting with the organization of Husky Music Fest. Despite health challenges, she leads the decoration efforts for Prisms, contributing her time and energy extensively. Her joyful attitude and enthusiasm have made her an exemplary role model for the Husky community. Known for her selflessness and cheerful disposition, she is recognized for her leadership, problem-solving abilities, and unwavering commitment to the performing arts and student success. Congratulations to Meg.
Okay. And today we are also pleased to continue our new sustainability recognition program. Starting this school year, we recognize 2 sustainability champions, 1 student and 1 employee, for their exemplary efforts in environmental sustainability. So first, the student sustainability champion for the month of January is Kate Wallace. Here are some of the highlights from the nomination received for her. Kate Wallace plays a crucial role in the sustainability scorecard project team for the 2023-2024 school years, ensuring the school's adherence to goal 1 of its sustainability policy. As treasurer of the environmental club for the last 2 years, she successfully secured grants from the West Cook Wild Ones and the Husky Boosters Club, enabling the planting of native prairie plants and the installation of aerobins for composting. In demonstrating her commitment to sustainability, Kate attended COP28 Climate Change Summit this past December in Dubai, and actively works in enhancing community sustainability. And a little ad-libbing here, I had the pleasure of being with the Sustainability Club yesterday, and Kate was leading the show. So while there's others that have roles, she was running the game. So she truly is a leader in this effort. So congratulations, Kate. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Thank you so much for this award. It's an honor to represent OPRF, which is a leader in sustainability.
Well done.
Already.
It's a reusable, sustainable mug.
Can you get a little closer to my feet?
If you want.
And continuing and recognizing sustainability champions, I want to congratulate. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Congratulations are also in order for Stephanie Walkless. Is Stephanie here? No, she's not. Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Stephanie as our faculty sustainability champion. Here are some highlights from the nominations received for Stephanie. Ms. Walkless founded the local West Cook Wild Ones chapter, playing a key role in promoting native Midwest plants at Oak Park and River Forks. Her efforts have significantly contributed to the establishment of native prairie gardens in the OPR area, supported by plant sales and seminars organized by her chapter of West Cook Wild Ones. She possesses extensive knowledge in plant ecology and diversity, advocating for native plants, and actively supporting student involvement, exemplified by the Enviro Club, winning a grant for prairie plant installations at their school. And so, while she's back here again, congratulations to Stephanie.
So that concludes our recognition and our board meeting for tonight. So thank you all. Our next order of business is public comment. Please limit public comments concerning matters within the jurisdiction of the Board of Education to 3 minutes. This section is intended not to be a dialogue with the board. Response time to any questions will be up to 2 weeks.
We have 3 in person and 2 via Zoom. We'll start with our in-person public comments first.
And
You ready?
I am ready.
Our first speaker tonight is Ms. Macy Megazai.
Hello, I'm Macy, and I just want to start by congratulating you all on these sustainability awards. I'm impressed, and I'm here to talk about that same topic tonight. I'm new at Oak Park. We did a renovation of one of these really cool 100-year-old houses, installed geothermal, went electric, and love it. We're really warm this winter. So I just wanted to, talk to you a little bit about my Oak Park journey. My husband is class of 99 OPRF. And my in-laws are still here. We love this town. I came here and I joined the building commission so that I could help write sustainable building codes for Oak Park. I'm impressed by the leadership here, and I'm impressed by the sustainability plans that are in place in Oak Park that set goals that are actionable around 60% reduction of greenhouse gases by 2030. I come to you tonight more emotionally because the next graduates that I have are OPRF 2035 and 2038. They are 3 and 6. Right now we are in first grade at Longfellow with Miss Hope, and I'm the history reader tomorrow. So I look forward to this opportunity to be in front of you tonight as you consider these sustainability facilities decisions in your actions. And I appreciate the work that you have done and that has been done in this town to work towards actionable progress on these problems that are big, that we can solve. They are not easy, and that is why it's more important to solve them and set that example for the students that we are educating everywhere that will go into the world and continue forth on this mission, on the example set by everyone making these decisions every day. So I appreciate all that I've heard tonight, and I'm really impressed. And I am really glad that my family had this legacy and reason to bring me to Oak Park. And I'm excited to be sending my kids here into these schools and making a life new here. I grew up in Plainfield. So, with that, I just ask that, again, you prioritize sustainability in the actions and decisions that you make. And I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, Mr. Nick Bridge.
Hi, I'm here basically for the same reason that Macy is. We both happen to be members of the Oak Park Climate Action Network. I'm also a plan commissioner for the Village of Oak Park. And I'm told that I am been appointed recently to be on your sustainability committee, which I'm looking forward to very much. I want to compliment you on the sustainability plan. It's very comprehensive. And I think you showed a good example for District 97, which has adopted a very similar plan of their own. I understand that you have a recent report on the viability of doing geothermal, and I know it's somewhat more expensive to do that, but I think we have to look down the road. My understanding is that it's been predicated on a 30-year time frame. I would encourage you to think beyond 30 years. 30 years ago to me now seems like nothing. And if you go through with doing the geothermal, I think it's going to be the gift that keeps on giving well beyond 30 years. Also, one last point, going totally electric, if we can do that, would hopefully bring the costs down. And I think there's a good possibility of achieving further cost reductions by going with community solar when your current electric contract is up. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last in-person speaker is Mr. Alan Perez.
Thank you, and and I'm not.
No, please correct.
Harris,
Paris, I'm sorry, sir.
No, and something that I've gone through since kindergarten. That's a long time ago. My name is Alan Paris, and I'm a 42-year resident of Oak Park. My daughter is an OPRF graduate, and my granddaughter is on her way to being a Husky in a few years. Over winter break, I heard some disturbing stories from people actually outside of the community about bullying of Jewish students by students and teachers here in the school. This, I believe, all was after October 7th, when the war started between Israel and Gaza. And it left me very disturbed. And I became even more disturbed when I read the results in the Wednesday Journal about the 5 Essential Survey and the serious drop in safety scores. Because I want my granddaughter to be safe when she comes to learn. Otherwise, she is not going to be a good student. So I'm here to ask how we as a community are going to learn about what did happen. Were there incidents? What was done about those incidents? What was done about with the students? And if there really was a teacher who bullied Jewish students, what was done? And I'm not asking to know who that was, but I'd like to know, or I think our community would like to know, what action has been taken, both for the students that are currently here and for those that are coming up and will be joining your student body. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our first speaker via Zoom is Ms. Mona Blaber.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You're ready.
Great, thank you. My name is Mona Blaber, good pronunciation, not everybody does it, says it right. And I'm also a member of Oak Park Climate Action Network with Macy and Nick, and the mom of a senior at OPRF. And I just want to thank you for the thoughtfulness and intent you've put into achieving the reductions in climate pollution that we need to prevent a catastrophic future for our kids. I'm here to support a decision to approve the geothermal project under consideration at the maximum tonnage to get the maximum climate benefits. According to what I could glean from the report that was sent out last week, geothermal would save the district about $3 million over the next 30 years. We have to stop using gas to heat our homes and schools and buildings in order to give our kids a livable future. Even without the financial benefits, this is the kind of decision that school boards and village boards and other decision makers all over the nation need to make now. You have so much power to make a difference and make OPRF an example for other districts and schools. So I really appreciate the work you've done. And I also encourage you to move as quickly as possible to transition the rest of the school off gas heating. As far as I could tell, this project still only covers project 2 heating and cooling. So I hope you can provide an update on that progress as well. And like Nick, I encourage you to buy community solar and or procure an actual solar contract for your next electricity contract. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Our last speaker for tonight is Ms. Katie Stab.
Good evening. My name is Katie Stab, and I'm an OPRF senior. I would like to echo what the last speakers have said and express my support for the proposed geothermal project. With OPRF's sustainability plan, we have the capacity to be a role model for other districts and demonstrate what is possible if we commit to taking the bold climate action that the plan lays out. And improving this geothermal project is one such key decision. The geothermal system will reduce our reliance on fossil fuels in line with the dire need to transition to renewable energy in order for my generation to avoid the worst effects of the climate crisis. Combined with the long-term saved energy costs, the benefits of this project will far outweigh the initial investment. Yes, this project is ambitious, but I believe that we have a responsibility to be ambitious. We owe it to the class of 2050 and beyond. Thank you so much for your continuing commitment to sustainability, and I look forward to seeing the progress continue.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Kowski, that concludes tonight's public comments.
Okay. So, next on our agenda is the consent, approval of consent agenda. So before doing so, are there any items that board members would like to pull for further discussion? Okay, hearing none, then I move to approve the consent items as follows. A, approval of the open and closed minutes of December 21st, 2023 and January 11th, 2024. And a declaration that the audio tapes of the closed session minutes of April 2022 be destroyed. B, approval of the personnel recommendations, including new hires, summer hires, transfers, assignment changes, and resignations. C, approval of the following policies for second read and action. 5:200, terms and conditions of employment dismissal. 5:210, resignations. 5:220, substitute teachers. 5:250, leaves of absence. 5:330, sick days, vacation, holidays, and leaves. 6:15, school accountability. 6:30, organization of instruction. 6:50, school wellness. 6:60, curriculum content. 6:230, library media programs. 7:60, residents, and 7:70, attendance and truancy. D, approval of the November 2023 Treasurer's Report is presented. E, approval of the November 2023 financial reports as presented. F, approval of December 2023 and January 2024. Check disbursements and financial resolutions, including the payroll resolutions for February of 2024. G, approval of the proposal and quote for the legacy switchgear equipment CDWG in the amount of $98,294. H, approval of the Northern Illinois Independent Purchasing Cooperative RFP and rollovers. I, approval of the Northern Illinois Independent Purchasing Co-op restated articles of joint agreement and bylaws as stated. J, approval of the updated scope for the summer 2024 capital improvements. And K, approval of the natural gas RFP and further authorize district administrations to execute a natural gas contract in the amount not to exceed 15% above results from the initial RFP round of pricing for a term of up to 60 months. May I have a second?
Second.
And may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Brandhorst?
Yes.
Ms. Williams-Lee? Yes. Dr. Livingston?
Yes.
Dr. Maharaj?
Yes.
Mr. Brisbane?
Yes.
Mr. Arkin?
Yes.
Mr. Kowski?
Yes. So we move to our specific action items, of which there are two. First, I move to certify the class of 2024 mid-year graduates as presented as of December 21st, 2023.
Second.
And is there discussion? Congratulations to our mid-year graduates. And roll call, please.
Ms. Williams-Lee? Yes. Dr. Livingston?
Yes.
Mr. Brisbane?
Yes.
Mr. Arkin?
Yes.
Dr. Maharaj?
Yes.
Mr. Brandhorst?
Yeah.
And Mr. Kowski?
Yes. And our second action item, I move to approve the geothermal project scope of the maximized field and enter into contract negotiations with Verigy on a guaranteed energy savings contract for geothermal design and installation.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Is, Tony wrote a new memo dated the 25th. Is he coming to discuss that or? I'm just asking because we got new information about the greenhouse gas reductions. I didn't know if there was a plan to discuss or present that at all before we go straight to vote. And I guess since I roped you up here, there wasn't a plan to do that.
Yeah. Just pulling it up really.
But I want to be clear that he will be very happy to talk about it.
Yes. In analysis of the system, the preliminary energy model for project 2 would result in reduction of greenhouse gas by 442,558 pounds CO2 each year for the geothermal system. What that would mean annually would be 504,984 miles driven by an average car, 24 homes energy use, 22,659 gallons of gas consumed, and 3,350 tree seedlings grown for 10 years. And I'd like to thank Verigy for providing these awesome facts to us.
So I have just a couple of questions. They'll be pretty painless. Okay, so the greenhouse gas emission reduction of 221 tons. It's actually only an 18% reduction versus if we had proceeded with conventional electricity or gas instead of geothermal. Is that because the geothermal really only addresses heating and cooling, and you still have an electricity need to power lights and everything else in the building? Is that why the reduction is only 18%?
I believe so, but I would
Yeah, and that report only focused on the HVAC portion, so if you look at the before and after, it zeroed out lights and other things because we were only focusing on that comparison. It's certainly something we can add into an analysis by looking at the details of project 2, to get, information down the road to the board.
I think it's fine. And I think it's still worth doing. I mean, 20% reduction is good. Does that, is there a presupposition about the source of electricity generation in that calculation?
Can you repeat the question?
So in order to assume that replacing electricity with geothermal is going to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, there has to be some assumption around what form of fuel would have been creating that electricity that you now displace. Is it an assumption of gas, coal?
Right, so the analysis is based on doing an energy model where the baseline is based on your existing fuel sources, which is gas for heating and electric for cooling. Now with the geothermal, it's going to be all electric. The other thing about the geothermal is because it has a much higher efficiency, the overall energy consumption is reduced. And also because you're now the new system, the geothermal has no gas whatsoever. And that's another big component for the CO2 emissions reductions.
So the CO2 emission reduction comes primarily from subtracting the use of natural gas rather than electricity?
Yes.
All right, that makes sense. So my last point is actually more of an observation. Tony, you conclude your memo right before recommendations by saying, in order to maximize the tonnage output from the geothermal system, the budget would be $10,300,000. And I just want to state for the record, that's kind of hanging out there in a way that I think needs to be publicly addressed, which is it's not that we're just walking into $10.3 million expenditure, the total economics of this project are actually in our favor. Because inclusive of both CapEx and OpEx, the district is gonna save approximately $350,000 a year. Thanks in part to a variety of factors, inclusive of taking advantage of tax credits in the Inflation Reduction Act. So I just want to say for the record, if anyone's reading this, it's not just, oh, we're just spending an unbudgeted, unplanned 10.3 million. We're actually making an investment that is designed to do both the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, but also lower our net costs of $350K on an annual basis for about 30 years. Is all that correct?
Yes, and the reason my statement was a little bit simplified than that is that it's actually put in because that'll be a key number then as we go into our contract negotiations with Verigy to write it up. One of the benefits of guaranteed energy savings contract in the state of Illinois is we can set kind of a guaranteed maximum price of the project. So that is now we know that that would be the kind of not to exceed number that we would set forward.
Thank you.
Are there questions from other board members? Ben?
No, I just want to be explicit that if we are approve the motion as written, we are going forward to maximize the capacity. All right, if the 606 tons, all right, rather than what the lower amount was or the other amount, but we're gonna go to maximize what we can get an output.
Yes.
Okay, I have, really, I don't know if they're, I have 3 things to share, okay? First is, I did a poll. I had the pleasure of being with a group of students yesterday and talking about this project and gave them the opportunity to vote on whether they would prefer to go, after some education on it, whether they would prefer to, that we continue with traditional fuels or pursue the project, knowing that when I asked them what the cost of this was, they were a little bit low in their estimates of cost, but I was transparent with them on the real cost. A little guessing it. Anyway, at the end, we had a vote, and I will announce that the results of that vote, which is non-binding, was 25 in favor and 0 opposed to pursuing this project. So it's a small sampling, and it might even be a skewed sampling, but this is their future, and that was their vote. So since I share that, and tied to that is an ask that I've had on this, which is as we continue to move forward, and I'm not looking at Verigy, I'm looking at Tony, I'm looking at everybody. We need to find ways that our students can be actively engaged in this work. Does it mean that they're going to be reviewing, and I know, Tony, you already had them review some of the proposals, but reviewing the economics so they get a handle on what this stuff really costs? Is it going out there and doing a time-lapse photography of drilling wells, whatever, anything to have our students actively engaged? I would like to see what, whether it's just a club activity, whatever can be done. I think we owe it to our students to offer it up to them and say, here's how you can be engaged. Because they don't, they might not know, but that's an ask I have as we pursue this work. So I've asked it before, I'm going to ask it continuously as we go through this. And then the third thing I share is really, I think, coming to part of Graham's questions, which, just so that we're clear, the data in this presentation is really just a direct comparison of geothermal versus gas, traditional heating for the new building. What it doesn't include is we're spending a lot of money on a new building that has different windows, different insulation, and a pool that isn't leaking water. So it would be of interest. And again, maybe an interest that students could help, get the answers to say, what is the true benefit of Project 2 in addition to just this geothermal piece? So that's kind of an ask of how we might do that. At one point, and part of the sustainability plan was models that can look at and say that a window is gonna, has this much potential thermal gain. So those are my 3 asks before I call the vote. Okay?
Yep.
Easy. No answers other than head nods and.
I'm looking forward to working with Cindy Wan and our environmental club on ways we can engage our students into this project and once we have the green light that the project moving forward, I really think that is we tried to find the best way to include them in the initial RFP process, and now in various stages of the planning and development, it'll be exciting for our students, I believe.
Thank you. With that said, then, unless anyone else, I ask to call the vote, please.
Mr. Arkin,
Yes.
Ms. Williams Lee. Yes. Dr. Livingston,
Yes.
Dr. Maharaj,
Yes.
Mr. Grandhorse.
Yes.
Mr. Brisbane
Yes.
and Mr. Costa.
Yes, the motion passes unanimously, and you've got your marching orders. And that concludes our action items for today. Our next and last, well, not last. Segment are district, community, state, and community reports. For the record, or board members, I think we've added, right?
At the end
I
of
mean,
March.
there were some that weren't previously listed, so everyone is now on the list. So we will just go through these quickly. I just asked for a 1 sentence, 1 minute blurb. And Mary Ann, please. iGov.
Yep. For iGov, we've been working on closer collaboration and having some very interesting conversations about the future of iGov. It's actually pretty exciting. I think it's going to be productive. One piece of that is we're going to be sending around a survey, I believe, not a survey about the sort of mental health workshop that we're hoping to hold for the community. And another piece is that there's been a lot of interest in trying to have a communal calendar. At the moment, the Chamber of Commerce one is we believe the most comprehensive, and so we're sort of being encouraged to put as much as we can of our important events into that calendar, so that we can not cross schedule against each other, basically. So that's most of what we talked about at iGov this week.
Thank you. Community finance, we had.
Meeting in March.
We have not met, and we'll meet next, when is it?
March.
Yes. Okay, CCB.
We've continued to follow the new model of highlighting one particular issue that was chosen brought to the group's attention at the beginning of the year for us to explore in a group setting. So we had breakout groups. The topic this time around was walking in their shoes and how we teach empathy in the OPR community. And it was probably the most widely attended meeting we've had this year on one of the coldest nights of the year. It was a great discussion. I don't know if you have anything to say.
Great, thank you. Apple?
No meeting in January, the next meeting is February 6th.
Thank you. Sustainability Committee. I will say that climate change impacted and resulted in the cancellation of the January Sustainability Committee meeting. So it is being rescheduled to February the 6th, I believe.
Yeah, I think that has been rescheduled, is that correct?
Yes.
February 6th.
Yeah. Facilities.
Facilities, we met,
Tuesday.
on Tuesday. Pat gave us an update on the northwest section of the building. And the work that'll have to be done around the balls.
Yeah.
The common ed balls. Which I assume will come from us one of these days. And
You know, I could add one thing,
Yes.
credit text. Yeah. Tony and I are having conversations along with her also about doing our best to make that committee something that serves, although it's a superintendent's committee, not the CFC, serves a function that is very similar to that. That is kind of vetting topics and providing maybe not hard recommendations, but guidance on issues that we are bringing to the board. We heard some community members say that they appreciate the information, but it really is just kind of information sharing rather than a decision kind of or guidance process. So we're looking to kind of enhance that a little bit.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Thank you, Brent. River Forest Community Collab.
Community Collab is the revival continues. We met last night. In the River Forest Public Library's new space, which is not yet open to the public. They are more than we are. Saving space. We agreed last night that at our next meeting, we are going to try to set for our collaboration.
That's a start. Community Council.
Community Council, I pinched it for Audrey this month. Terrific presentation by Dr. Fiorenza and the 5 division heads on sort of their efforts to revise and align curriculum across all courses across the entire school. Really interesting presentation.
Great, thank you. Boosters? We're not.
They have not asked for our assistance. I had an informal conversation with Megan Piper a couple of weeks ago. I said, anytime you meet us, just reach out to me. She's my neighbor, so
Just call your name and you'll be there.
pretty much. Can I say one thing? Let's rewind for a second on the sustainability committee.
Please.
So there was a calendar invite, it got canceled, and you're telling me it's now been rebooked for the 6th? But I don't have any calendar invite from that admin. And I'm bummed out. I'm gonna be out of town that day. I was so looking forward to this committee. But I'm gonna miss it yet again. This time just because I have a business trip.
Would during this time would zooming in be possible for you?
It would. Do you normally maintain a Zoom during those meetings?
There is a Zoom link inside the invite, so I can forward you the invite with the Zoom link.
So you mean a calendar invite has already been sent out?
Yes, sir.
What the heck? So I'm not even getting that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
I'll double check with that.
What time is it?
Assistant, 3:30.
Yeah, I'd love to still at least see if I can make it on Zoom if I'm not in there.
Probably let me do this right now.
Yeah, I might miss that one too.
We'll shoot an email to the sender of the invites to see what happens. I don't know what the- But actually, I suspect actually, so there were, actually, one of our public commenters tonight was also added to that committee, and we've had a few other people who've been added over the past, I don't know, a month or so. And it's possible that the old list, the invite was sent to the old list, not the adjusted list, right? Because you were just added recently.
I got all the January communiques, but.
Yeah, so it could, who knows, we'll figure it out. All right, July, our apologies.
Okay, let's go. I got 3 minutes to wrap this thing up, and I bet with the guy sitting next to me, so. We're now getting.
This is important.
Yes. And he can control that, so there's a little bit applause. Marianne?
Sorry, hi. I was not attending the applause meetings.
Yeah, okay. Alumni Association.
Okay, now I can filibuster here.
Yeah, if you filibuster, it would be over.
No, Alumni Association, we met, I think, 2 weeks ago. And just moving forward with grants for the summer, although there are no school sponsored trips, there'll be other trips where we will support our students in participating in summer enrichment activities. That's it.
Scholarship Foundation.
Scholarship Foundation met a couple of weeks ago, PSA for the foundation, the scholarship common app closes at 3:30 tomorrow, so any seniors who have not completed their applications, please do it. At 3:30 tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Collaboration.
Sure, we met last Wednesday and we had a presentation by Allison Lowe Photos, Senior Policy Manager, Start Early, to start us off. And we then went into an overview of the annual report of the Collaboration for Early Childhood. We touched on the newly formed IGA subcommittee and went over those minutes briefly. We looked over the FY24 first quarter financial statement, administrative agent report, and had some robust discussion amongst ourselves before the night wrapped up.
Oak Park Council of Government, there was not a meeting, not in this time frame. And last but not least, SSAC.
2 things on this, other than that committee needs to get re-engaged, this semester, we also need to send out and renew the membership in that committee as we prepare for next school year. With it, there also is, and we had talked about discussing this at this table at some point, a kind of recommendation that came from that committee, which is reviewing the potential for, membership on this board. Student membership on this board. So that is something that I know we'll plan, right, for second semester.
So yeah, we're at that one, I think, if we look at our board goals.
That's a board goal.
Yeah, it came up as something for us to explore, and we haven't scheduled it for a conversation, so.
Yeah, so we just need to get it on an
We need to
agenda.
get an agenda, and then once we get an agenda, we can do some preparation for it. So.
Okay, that's good. And not shown here in the list, but just to loop back to our last meeting, there's a couple other committees. One is policy committee, and I have asked Tim and Audrey to be the policy committee representatives. That's a superintendent committee, so it will be so that you were looking for that answer, and right of the names of who the board members were that would be part of a policy.
Yep, and we've already had preliminary conversations about getting that organized, share a little information, and we'll get a meeting together soon. I should, it's probably worth kind of prefacing right now that at the February committee meeting, we are slated to bring the third flight of policies for review for first reading, at the committee meeting, and that's February 8th. It is likely that this committee won't be together, right, in enough time to do that work. But we will get that committee together, and there are other policies that are worth considering through that committee that are not in press. So we will make that part of the discussion.
Okay. Since we blew through that deadline, we can slow down here. No, the last one there, and I'm just going to what our list was Parents for Student Success, which is a committee that had existed. That's basically PT Andy, right? What's the history of that committee?
I don't know a long history of that committee. I just know that it was really waning in the years prior to the pandemic. Pandemic hit and it did more than wane. It ceased, and Dr. Fiorenza has kickstarted that committee again for this past school year, and she's met a few times.
So at this point, we're waiting to see what her interest and need is for board involvement.
Fair.
It's still kind of taking shape. We'll let her do her thing. And then if there's a desire for board representation in one way, shape, or form, we will then advance and assign accordingly. So any others that's the full list. Yes, sir.
Not to put Audrey on the spot, but we didn't ever report out on the ISB conference, the III conference.
Oh, that's true, we did not.
I got a couple of pages of notes, I can just email that out unless you got anything you wanna say about it.
What I'd say about it was very helpful. It was good. They had a track many board members, so it was just helpful to meet and speak with other board members from other districts. And they had some really good presentations that I found very useful. And one was actually about student representation on boards. And so connected with a couple of superintendents from and also board members from other districts locally. Who have students on their boards. They actually got a chance to hear from students who serve on boards and kind of what they got out of it, as well as what the school got out of it. So that was helpful.
Great.
Yeah, and the one session I went to that was, I think, good was the community engagement for boards. I got a few resources, so whoever is running with that ball. Board.
Okay. So yeah, if you can just share those notes, that will be beneficial. And that concludes our committees and associated groups. Are there any future agenda items that we need to consider? One that did come up is this student on the board is getting it to a point where we have it as a discussion. So we need to find the right time to slate that as a discussion topic. Are there any others? Yes, sir.
Now that we've gone forward and passed the sustainability issue with geothermal, we'd like to get on the agenda with the electrification plan.
Oh, sure. That is scheduled to be part of a March presentation related to the 10-year maintenance. So it's on our.
Never mind.
Yep. Thank you for bringing it up.
Just regarding.
Yes, Marianne?
Sorry, just regarding the student on the board. When we have that discussion, will administration be bringing us some background info on what other places have done out of other high schools? I would personally find that very helpful.
I'll be happy to work with the board committees work on that, or Mr. Post on that, and do what I can to move forward in whatever information. Sure.
Okay, thanks. That's-
So on this topic of future agenda items.
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming you have a parking lot written list of all the things that have been nominated.
Correct.
And they're in some kind of a queue and you can bank on them coming up. So.
Yes.
Safe to assume that the gun safety topic is in that queue and at some point.
Actually, it is one of the topics that I referenced without referencing specifically a moment ago. And in fact, Tim and I were talking about earlier today. It's something that should run through policy committee, I think. And so we'll have that conversation there and get it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other new future agenda items? Hearing none, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.